Good day, everybody. You got the Lady Hippy at the bar here, and I would be the Lady Hippy. I've been watching a little bit of the news programs. I tend to go to YouTube because, like this is for entertainment purposes only. If you can see me or hear me, do please hit a like, a dislike, share with your buddies, maybe subscribe, tickle that bell. It would help the channel. No, I don't make any money, but I'm not adverse to doing so. That being said, I had already pointed out that I like to go through YouTube and just see what's going on. Now, when this assassination attempt on former President Trump and frontrunner President Trump happened, it did take me, I slowed the film down, maybe within 5 minutes of actually catching it on the news. I'm on my computer slowing it down, looking at it. I'm like, what the hell? I'm an Army veteran myself. Regular Army, not whack, none of that. Just missed it. We were the first ones to be regular Army. That's another story. And I said immediately, and I said to my husband, I said, this is the Secret Service they gave him. This is the detail they gave him, because these guys are not, are they complicit? Because this area was not secured. The first thing you do, if you're doing security for a high profile, even for a low profile, if you're doing it for yourself, you're doing any kind of security sweep, those top buildings are gone. You're going to take advantage of that and make sure that you're in control of that. They did do this. This was 300-400 yards in front of the former president, Mr. Trump. And they've tried everything with this man. They made up shit. That didn't stick. They tried it. They tried to impeach him twice while he was in office. It didn't stick. The man wasn't guilty of anything. They took a 4-star general and tossed him out of his own home because he had to sell it to pay for attorneys to find out they had made it all up on him all along. And even when this was proven in a court of law, the judge would not let the man go. He said, no, he's going to be guilty of something, basically. We're going to keep him. So that he finally had to accept, he fought it all the way up to the day that President Trump had to either pardon him or he would have to continue to fight. And this is sick shit. So when that didn't work, and I guess the poor general, I can't remember his name, young man, had done very well. What they did to him was beyond criminal. It was treason. It was all proven to be treason and lies and bullshit. And not one person is in jail over it after destroying a 4-star general. At what point did anybody go, well, damn? And during Trump made it clear from the very beginning, we knew that they did a coup and they stole the election in 2020. We know this. There's no, it might be they did this. No. And they've owned the airwaves along this as well. And they vilified it. And then they started calling him Hitler. I didn't even know that. I had not caught that until today. I was like, what the hell? Most of them say that it never happened from that age group. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. These people went to Ivy League schools and don't know a damn thing. They do not know shit from Chinoa, as my daddy was dead. And my daddy was a World War hero at Pearl Harbor. So I think I know something about which I speak, considering I'm an Army veteran myself. My family goes back, even adopted, and the bloodline goes back past the Civil War. We've always served our country. I'm both the adopted and the bloodlines for myself. And I think that's true of many Americans, especially the baby boomer generation. We all were teenagers, basically. The hippie phase started there. And Vietnam, and terrible thing, Vietnam. Lost a lot of friends, family. And that was also conducive to my decision to enlist, because at that point they were still WACs, Women's Auxiliary Corps for the Army, and you were nurses and secretaries. And I've been both since I was 4. So, I used to have armloads of books. No library ever gave me a due back time, because I knew the next day I'd be there getting those back in another 16. So as I was saying, I saw this happen to former President Donald Trump. I saw it, and I couldn't believe it. The first thing that got my attention was the fact that the news they call them news stations. I doubt they're political stations. CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC. You got to throw Fox in. They're all political channels, not news. But the first thing that caught my attention was they were not using the word assassination. Former President Donald Trump was just startled by something going by his ear. Not that bullet that took off part of his ear. What that? Look at the Secret Service personnel. There are 3 shots fired, and Mr. Trump goes to the ground. Now, Mr. Trump, former President Trump, I'm sorry, he deserves his titles. I mean, he literally does. I would salute the man myself. Not until just because after what happened, but even before. The man was a very good president. I give him that. He was already down. He was already using the podium as a cover. This is a West Point graduate, guys. And in case people don't understand what West Point is, and I don't think everybody does. That's the cream of the creme. The creme of the creme. This is it. Is West Point. That's your officer corps. General Lee, General Grant, all of them were West Point graduates. Every one of them. Eisenhower, I could throw some more in here, but I don't have enough time. So they were all West Point graduates, including former President Trump. That man knew after he went and pulled his hand back, and he saw blood. He had time to see blood. He had a nanoseconds time, and then he went down. There was already 3 shots fired. Not one Secret Service personnel of his detail was anywhere near him at 3 shots. He was down. Now, without his training, he wouldn't have been able to process all that had he just been a civilian. It would have been, no, that man went down. And still 3 shots rang out. Now I'm looking at the Secret Service. I've gone through frame by frame. And I'm like, what the hell? Where the hell are they? Why are there 5-foot women there? Not that I disparage women for being Secret Service. I disparage them when they're not able and capable to do the job. Now, personally, I know I would not be able, even at 20 with all kinds of training, I would have said, no, I'm 5'2". I couldn't do that detail. This man's 6'4". Maybe 6'2". In any event, every person in his detail was shorter. So finally, and there's one in front of the stage that I caught, and somebody else caught actually. It was another set of video. And this guy is walking around telling people, get out, get out. He's in front of the stage, in front and down. He's walking around in front of it. He's telling people, get out, move. And he crouches down. Well, there's no shots fired at that point. So why is that Secret Service personnel dipping? There were no shots fired at that point. He had no reason to dig down and look around. He knew. And I've said this since the very first time, within a couple hours of it happening, the Secret Service personnel needs to be detained, charged with treason, charged with attempted murder and murder because the person died in the audience. They knew. You're not a Secret Service detail. You're not a crime of the crime. If you don't clear a barn, a house, I don't give a shit what you call that 300-400 meters from the president. You got people telling the police, you got people telling the Secret Service, and you bitches sit there and did nothing. But you want to say, oh, you protected the president, my Aunt Fanny. You did. You look at these people. Look at them as this is going on. Frame it. Just slow it down. Get more than one angle on this. That's the other thing I wanted to know. They didn't have security. They didn't have CCTV. Yes, they flaming did. If they didn't have it on that building, they turned it the hell off or they moved the damn camera. I don't care which, but that's just the facts, Jack. The first thing you do is secure the perimeter. Okay, now I don't know how long their perimeters are nowadays. You'd think they would be pretty wide, at least as far as a rifle could flame and shoot. If you can shoot somebody at 400 yards away, and trust me, people, you can. I was taught I could do it, and I graduated as an expert in my fires. So even a 5'2" housewife could do this shot as a veteran. It's not hard to pull a trigger, guys. A little harder to climb up the side of that bitch and set it up, maybe, but it ain't hard to pull that damn trigger. And I keep myself in sights. I mean, I agree. I cheat. I use a laser sight now. I'm old. Get over it. So there is no escaping the fact that these people were culpable in this heinous act of near assassination of the former president and the president-elect, as far as I'm concerned. Because again, people think, oh, we're going to go out and vote. And I would love to believe that that's true, that our votes would count for something. They don't. They do if you do senators, Congress, maybe a little. But look it up. Bing, Google, whichever your search is. You don't even have to go to the library. Go through the card catalog and get all this shit. Just go. 5 seconds later, it says the American president is elected by the Electoral College, who represent the people. Now, that vote is before we, the represented, vote. So what the hell are they representing? Wake up. Slap him once and slap him again and slap him one more time. Yeah, they had people screaming at them. There's a shooter. There's a shooter. Before this guy got up to the building. This guy was still crawling up the building. They were alerting Secret Service. They were alerting police, and the police too, the state and the city and the county. All these bitches that was up in there. All of y'all need to go to jail. And I mean for a while. I mean, if your bail should like be $1 million, you're not going nowhere. You can't have that accident. You can't do that suicide. Be like Epstein. Be dying out in jail. Suicide. Yeah, they meant to kill him. And like I said, the first broadcast that came out about the assassination was something went by his ear and he was startled, like he was a dumb shit. And I can't tell you whether I'm more angry about how they labeled the man after he'd been literally shot. Literally shot. They deliberately tried to mislead everybody as to what had actually happened, that there was no near death in this action. This wasn't assassination. He was just startled. I'd like to bitch slap the person who sent that. I can't even remember who it is. I'm old. I'm tired. Get over it. You're gonna problem. Come on. I'm not on live chat. It's currently offline. I'm sorry about that. Again, I wear all the hats here. As you can tell, I need to clean the house. So I painted the door. I love the house. My husband repainted it, put in wood floors for me. We got the bar. We're at the bar. I love the bar. Shit, I don't need a designated driver. I just need somebody to hold the chair when I get up. I have a stiffener now. And I tell this most of the time, at least once a week. Today it's, I think it's, it's one of the captains. When I was growing up, the women used to faint. I've never been able to faint for anything in my life. But my mom could get news about a loved one being dying or something to this effect, coming with blood in your hand, anything like that, they would faint. So you always kept these ampules of smelling salts. That's what we call them. I forget what they actually chemical products. But you wake your ass up. They'll go back out. And finally you get them a stiffener, what they call the stiffener. Stiffen them up. And it was either brandy or maybe a little bit of whiskey, whatever it was. And I shot. Oh, they was happy after that. They didn't drink, as a rule. Every once in a while, my mom would have gin and soda. That's a good drink. I know I used to sneak around, pick up the glasses. So it was a little bit of a butt. Anyway, yeah, on the Trump thing. I was gratified to see that I was not the only one that has said, finally, I think it was after an hour or two, they said it was an assassination attempt. This man was shot in the ear by a man with a rifle. I understand it's a AK-47. I prefer my M16s. They still use them today. There's some modified things on that. I still love that weapon. God, it's good. If you're going to defend something, you're going to have a good weapon. If you're going to take out anybody, you got to have a good weapon that far range. You can't do this shit with a handgun. How do you get there? How come they didn't listen to people pointing at him? How come one guy was still doing this? They interviewed him. He was like, until the guy started shooting. And then another guy, the guy that died, had jumped on his family. He's a fireman. He died. He was the death at the scene. So this isn't just an attempted assassination. This is also murder and attempted murder. Who were the people in charge of that shit? Oh, let me see. That'd be the Secret Service, the state police, the city police, and I'm sure the county sheriffs, and they've got their little time for, they got to have some photo time. You know what? I didn't see that so much this time. They're interviewing people. They ain't the people that were supposed to be guarding shit. That's the guys who are going, this dude's climbing up the wall and they won't listen, and he's got a long gun. And nowadays they call it a long gun. I guess people can't really identify what you're carrying. It's a massive weapon. So long gun works, They didn't do nothing. Until these people show up and leave them alone, keep moving. No, this ain't an inside job. Come on, you don't know. It was just a base thing. Seriously. So I've been mad for a couple of days. I think you get to the one day I think that it happened. I didn't come out. The next day I didn't. I was just totally pissed, and I still am. I keep looking to see if they finally got their heads out of their asses and said, "Oh yeah, they tried to kill him." because they did. They nearly did. Now I watched it, like I said, frame by frame, and this, bless him, the angels were, or it's biblical. It really is, even if you're not religious. And I can't say I believe in any one religion or organized religion, but I believe in the religious studies that I've conducted of my own free will. And there is a supreme being, and God don't like ugly. It just kind of came down to that. I think that the proverb is just treat your neighbors or treat everybody as you would want to be treated yourself. There wouldn't be no problems going on. I think if a woman ran the world, everybody get rid of the guns because the women be pissed off. They don't care. They used to go, we want to torture your ass, make you run around and do stuff you don't want to do, which could be taken a long way. It's really just. So yeah, um, I'm back up today doing the same thing. Going, what the shit? Why aren't these people in jail? Why isn't the Secret Service detail? I mean, getting waterboarded even. Jesus God. One of them goes down in front of the stage into a crouch position before one shot is fired. Why? Did he think the crowd that he just ushered out was going to turn right here with a baseball bat? What? Yeah, that's what I said. What the hell? What's this guy crouching about? There was no shots fired yet. Mind you, again, I did it frame by frame, and I listened, and I did the same thing. I researched former Kennedy, President Kennedy's death, assassination. They assassinated his son as well, his grandchild. Broke my heart that they killed John Jr. But he had come out and he was going to represent it. He was a shoe-in. There's so much corruption. You can't get good guys in there. They'll kill them before you can get them in there. A good example. I'm sure somebody was going to say, oh, that's not real. Or it's really me. He was my age. I watched him grow up. I watched him become who he was. And they didn't look for the boy for 3 days in this designated flight path, which he had done hundreds of times before to go to Martha's Vineyard. His plane was new. It did not have a desponder. Suddenly they go, well, he usually flies up here. And they bring a battleship going, hey, we found him. You kid. And they didn't do that, folks, until his shit started washing up on shore. Till parts of the plane were washing up on the shorelines. Then they went over and said, oh, there he is. So, yeah, I've been a little PO'd about this, and some people would say I'm a prophet, but I've been calling about this. I've been saying this to everybody I know. That Pixie Mutt, that's one of my kittens, big cat now, that they were going to try an assassination. I don't know what's going on in the country. I know they did a coup. I didn't pay a lot of attention. Trump played right in their hands with some things on January 6th. He played into their hands again by taking documents home. But it riddled me this, Batman. How does the Clintons have this huge Clinton library thing? What's all that? Would it be anything from the White House? Did they take furniture from the White House? They did. They had to go get it back. How much was that daughter's wedding? Wasn't it 20 million or some shit? Yeah. That's not a problem. But Trump might have taken something home. They want this man dead now. And I've been saying this. I saw it coming because they've already tied him up in the courts for 2 years. To break this man. I mean, they were getting all of his money, all of his properties, all of his money, all this shit. Somehow a jury found him guilty on 34 counts without a shadow of a doubt. You cannot pass anything without a shadow of a doubt for 34 counts. I don't give a shit I don't care who's being tried. I don't care. You could try my cat. You could not, beyond a shadow of a doubt, guarantee that all 34 charges were accurate and true. You could not do that to me. No, it's always it's human error. At least it was. But they somehow found this man guilty on 34 counts. Nobody even knows what the counts are. But Hunter Biden, who you've had a laptop for, since 2016, we've got Joe Biden on YouTube as a speaker at some university saying how he had told a Ukrainian government at that time was not being attacked by Russia. He was VP and said, you get rid of the president and you put the kid in, my kid, or I'm not giving you all this money. I don't know, $400 million, whatever the hell it was. And he laughs and he tells the jury that I gave him an hour and he called me back and it was done. Ha ha ha. I don't see that clip again. I bet nobody knows what the hell that clip is.
Now to developments in the attempted Trump assassination attempt.
Yeah, we've got developments. There's a female that's supposed to be head of the Secret Service. She doesn't look like she could bench press 5 pounds. So how did she become? There are certain things, fellas, and I'm an Army veteran myself, but there are certain things that do need to be run by men, even if this was just a matriarchal society. In other words, run by all the women. Nothing else but have to have men procreate. Oh no, we got around that. But when it comes down to people's lives, yeah, I agree. There are women too. But you got a 6'2", 6'4" guy. And what killed me is he gets down. He's down. They rush on the stage. 3 shots have been fired. I think a fourth and fifth are ringing as they come through. They're all too short. The woman is a foot and a half too short. And she's jumping, trying to. So another guy's trying to, block with his arm. Meanwhile, it's like they went, oh, he's alive, jerked him up, just his head and neck visible. Hey, try again, he's alive. That's what it looked like to me. And the whole way down, they finally jerked him and shoved him in there because he was fighting. Again, West Point graduate. These guys are, and you cannot phase them under fire. They've been under fire. And that man's been under fire his whole life as a businessman. I didn't take notice of some of the shit. This man's amazingly intelligent. And he had my respect from the beginning as far as when he first ran for office because he was a West Point graduate. I have to respect that. Being military myself, I know what the hell that means. Again, that's the top echelon. That's your top guns. And maybe that's the language I should use. You want your top guns, you put them through West Point. These guys got to be recommended by senators, congressmen, president, something. You don't just walk into West Point. Although they lightened it up a lot in the past 2-3 decades. But it used to be difficult to get in. You had to be excellent at everything. Sports, intelligence. I mean, you name it. You had to be good at it. And you needed to also have things like firing any weapon, using a sword, all these other things. How to give and take orders. Because again, these are the guys at the top, Again, I think the best example I can give you would be General Lee and General Grant. Think about it. Almost, I believe all the generals at the very beginning of the war were West Point graduates, irregardless what side they were on. They were all Americans. And now this same thing I've seen, and I've said this too. I said that they would try to kill Mr. Trump. And I'm so shocked that they did. I knew it, but I prayed I was wrong, of course. And thanks to his guardian angel and God watching him. Because I watched this, like I said, from a very friend. He goes, this, and he just had. And that's just a minuscule movement to look at the jumbotron. He did this and turned his head. And then he got his ear. Had he been here, it would have went through his head. He would not be standing there. He'd been laying there. And even then, he had enough presence of mind to realize that, oh, shit, and get down. I mean, 3 shots rang out, like I said before. Secret Service even moved. And they couldn't even protect him because they were too short. The women were fumbling for weapons, checking their jackets, straightening their blouse. What the? Had you been under my command? Oh, woo. You'd done been in the stockade. I don't know what the hell they call it nowadays, but no, sir. Military police done had you locked up before we left the scene. Are you kidding me? This isn't just a lapse in duty, folks. This is not a lapse in duty. No, this is much worse than that. And if they haven't been charged and removed, I'm praying to God they've been removed because they're incompetent bitches who let this happen and they knew about it. Hence the Secret Service officer crouching in front of the stage before a shot was fired. And I didn't take time to note how long he'd been. He hadn't been up there a couple minutes when the shots rang out. First one clipped him. Second one killed that. I think second or third one hit. There were 3 who were hit in the crowd. One died, the others were seriously wounded. I thought there were 4. And then I counted 8 shots. I believe that's the Secret Service sniperist finally going, hey, that's right, that bitch is over there shooting. We might want to take him down. This guy, one of the guys was so close, the one that was doing this the whole time and screaming. This guy's, there's a guy with a gun, and he's standing there this entire time that Trump is even on stage. And he's so close to this guy that he can tell. He told the world when they interviewed him. Well, then the Secret Service snipers peeled his head. That's how close this man was. So I reckon he knew when he saw somebody climbing around with a long gun that he should call somebody, and he did. And they went, "Oh shit, better get down. This is starting early," or whatever the hell it was. But they'd be in my pokey. I'll tell you what, there'd be all kinds of interrogation going on. Somebody get me a bucket. No, I'm not nice. I want to tell it like it is. I expect others to do the same. Yeah, you don't get up there and go, he was startled. And don't even mention the fact that it was, I keep turning this up, I think. Don't even mention the fact that it's an assassination attempt, that he barely missed you. And he killed somebody in the crowd, and several more are injured seriously. And you shoot somebody with an AK-47. If you've seen a round from an AK-47, it's not a 22, folks. It's going to do a hell of a lot of damage when it goes through you. A lot of damage. That's why it's a good weapon. And AK-47 has been around a long time too. You know, when I went in, and blacks didn't use weapons. They might have had a little bit of training, but I don't think so. Maybe 2 or 3 days. It's not the same in the regular army. You get a lot of training. I could take that thing apart and put it back together blindfolded. Yeah, that's how well I love that weapon. Still do. One of the best weapons I've ever used. And I had never been around a weapon. I had been raised basically by a World War II Navy veteran and a hero at that. But as far as weapons, I know Dad had weapons, but they weren't shown or available to the adopted girls. And my big brother, who was also adopted, just protected the shit out of us. They were great to us. So, yeah, if I could pick this, and I did within seconds of seeing this, how come the people that are in charge, how come they haven't said, what the? You go directly to jail. You drop your weapon off. You drop your badge off. You go in behind them. Just close the doors. You go, I'm busy. Seriously. What the? Is that rocket science? Huh? What's the first thing you do when you're a detail that's protecting somebody like that? What do you do?
Quite a warning. Well, the fires, Chris, in the north.
One of my cuts, I love these things. The kids got that for Mother's Day. Not a day over fabulous. They know me well. I like bling. As you can see, I did finally get to my manicure. Oh, I do my own. Don't say it. I'm old. I gotta use the glasses. And so, what was the deal? How did they get away with going, oh, they were there, they were Johnny on the spot? No, they bloody well weren't. Basically, all the shots that were fired from that guy, that long gun that Crooks was using, he's the shooter. And Mr. Crooks, I can't remember, Jerome Crooks. I can't remember the first name. I'm still so angry. Mm-hmm. I don't know why the Secret Service director has not resigned. Just walked out in jail and shut the door behind her. She's never been competent to hold that position. I don't know what her background is. I'm not impressed. I've seen the girl. She could not run a donut, just like me. You don't see me on the president's detail trying to protect her. You don't see me standing up there going, you guys are good. Let's send 5 short women. I have no experience yet. They're new. But we want women in there. Let's send them. You haven't been hearing that the other side has been calling him Hitler and so forth. This is the other thing that pissed me off. I actually heard somebody, I don't know, Piers Anthony was quoting it, I know, and that's another little bitch I'd like to talk to, by the way, Mr. Anthony. It's nice of you to critique my country. You shouldn't throw such big rocks when you live in a glass house, because the UK is having a hell of a time too. And you yourself said that already 2 people had been killed who were seeking political office. So you don't get the chance to throw dung on my wall. Okay? You trot your junk out first, and don't sit up there like you're able to criticize and decide what's going on in my country. I don't do that. It's disrespectful. It's demeaning. And personally, I believe it's slanderous and actionable by law. Yeah, No, serious about that one. Come talk to me, Mr. Anthony. Let me do some work first. Check out your background real quick. Where are you from? Not America. No, you're not. You want to get up here and judge some political shit? Start in the UK first. Don't start in my country. You don't live in my country. You ain't my country. You ain't born from here. Yeah, you don't like even my country. Shut the hell up. Feel better now. I hear old MSNBC, old Joe, another one up there that should have been canned before he ever got on the air. And that's another one needs to be in jail. Treasonous bastards. If you know you're telling lies about somebody, it's slander. It's actionable by law. And yet nobody does anything to these people. I'm tired of seeing the public say whatever the hell they want and know it's not true. That has no basis in fact. And the fact is that they know this and they work around it. That free speech shit. Well, it's not free speech when you get up there and shit. I was startled. Like he was some damn pussy up there. You need to get a grip. You need to stand up and testify the damn truth or shut the hell up. Get off the TV. It's hard enough for me to go up there and have to change the channel because I find out the little clip that's being shown is your nappy ass. I don't need your shit. That might be the only rant I have today, but I wouldn't count on it. It pissed me off. It really pissed me off. It should piss off every damn American out there. And I did hear from some vets today that said the exact same things that I was saying, not even 5 minutes after this event had taken place. At that point, even so-called news channels were not saying that it was an attempted assassination. They didn't even mention the 3 who were, 1 killed, 2 fighting for their lives. They didn't even mention them at first. They didn't mention that he was shot at first. It took them hours before they finally followed the rest of the world's press and said, oh, well, some people feel he's Hitler and it would be okay. But again, I'd like to know why you people are on the TV. And why I don't know why Mr. Trump can't get you for slander or defamation of character at the very least, because I would go ahead and that'd be my best shot. As far as the detail that was protecting who? I mean, you gotta love this shit. They run up to the stage. He's done covered behind the podium. That's not good enough. They jerk his ass up and say, oh, look, he's alive here. He's the head and shoulders above them. They know that shit. That's not protecting him. It's here. Take another shot. Piss me though. That's How the hell are you going to protect a president's head and shoulders above every person on your security detail? How the flip are you going to protect that person? I don't care if it's a basketball star or a former president. You're not doing your damn job. You're actually making sure they can kill him. And I got a problem with that. You see, Americans can still have guns. Mr. Anthony. America can still have guns. Why take the damn guns anyway? It's gotten so bad with these 60 million illegals that have come in because they get free food, they get free money, they've been put in the hotels. Don't say you didn't do that. You have been doing that for years. And turning huge cities into dumps that are filled with crime. It's like Escape from New York, the movie. Have you seen New York? Have you seen it? Have you seen New York City? Find a place open in New York City that sells anything. I understand that there's just one Costco that hasn't shut down yet. Everybody else has. Target, everybody. That smash and grab shit. Well, the cops did this. Why not? Because they were killing the cops. They walk up and shoot them in the head. Nobody reported that shit either. It was okay. Let these guys burn down half of Seattle, take whole blocks hostage. What about the people who fucking lived there? They were trying to get the hell out. They couldn't. They were literally held prisoner. Have you seen San Francisco? Huh? Have you seen it? Have you walked on it? Did you get shit on your shoes? You will. Anybody seen Austin? Austin, Texas? Yeah, another border crossing. How many people have they killed? How many girls have been raped? How many dead bodies in the river? Oh, for God's sake. It's not rocket science. You got to stop that shit. And that's why people in America don't want to give up their Bible or their guns, because the come to Jesus moment will be when they shoot you in the face. And grandmothers have had to do that. And I wouldn't hesitate. I'm not going to jump out there and say, I got a gun. I'm going to shoot your ass 4 or 5 times. And if you twitch, I'm going to shoot you again 4 or 5 times. I might taser you too. Sick the dog. I don't fight fair. Oh, hell no. Ha. Captain Morgan. Oh, wrong way. Irish coffee. I get thirsty because I end up by my soapbox up here. So if anybody else is kind of like me going, what the shit? Come talk to me. Goodness, something bugging me. If you're out there and you agree with what I've said, and I've seen them now, like I said, I've seen people get up there, especially the people that were at the venue when the assassination attempt came down. They were all saying, I mean, there wasn't just one dude going, hey, there's a shooter. There was not just one dude. There was not just 2 or 3 minutes warning. This was well before Trump took the stage. And when he did take the stage, the sniper was ready because Trump didn't get through a couple of minutes. And he had the knowledge, wherewithal, and intelligence and steel backbone to realize not only A, he had been shot, but B, they were still shooting and that he was the target. He had to get down. He did all that himself before the secret. And then, like I said, the Secret Service jerked his ass up. He's still here and head and shoulders above them. It's like they ducked. Have you seen it? Take it. I mean, they're like this on his shoulders. And they've already jumped. The shooting hadn't stopped. Yeah, you missed. Try again. That's what I took from that. I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. That's exactly what I took from that shit. Personally, I'd have been, it's a good thing he's his age. Because if it had been me and I'd have been 20, I'd have beaten your ass all the way to the car. And told you, give me your gun, put your badge in here, get your ass away from me. Go on over there to them cops. They'll pick you up in a minute. Because you would have been done. You'd have been done. And I'd have made sure you went to jail for the shit. Because you nearly got him killed. And you knew that shit. There's not anybody with any intelligence, certainly not a veteran, that will go past that footage and say, nah. They couldn't have told. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that this detail did not just fail. This detail frickin' there's no doubt in my mind. I'd like to see anybody come on up if they're not afraid. I know a lot of people are afraid. They've told me so. They don't want to basically do interviews and stuff. I'm not Joe Rogan, so it's not like they, it's not the same, apparently. If you're just an average American grandma who's standing up here going, I don't believe that shit. Now, for a second, this is what really happened 5-10 minutes after it was done. Now, if a grandma like me could find out all of these points in the first 15 minutes of hearing the news, where the hell was everybody else? 3 days later, it's an assassination at 10. The people that set the president up and the general that I mentioned earlier, the people that did all this, none of them went to jail. No. None of them went to jail. Ask how many went to jail for January 6th. Ask how they bound it out. Did they bond out? How long were they held? It's sick. And this is why I, too, have said, and I've heard it up here now, that they're trying to push the Civil War. There are certain parts of our country, like Florida and Texas, that won't take this shit. They wouldn't allow colleges and universities to do those stunts because if you did, you got taken out and sent back to your country of origin. Those of you who are from here were put in jail and your parents could bail you out and you were expelled from school in those states. Then you had the states that went out there and the deans out there protesting with you. And you don't even know why you protested. You don't know what Palestine is. Don't know where it is. Just everybody's killing the kids. I love that line. Nobody wants to see civilians killed, guys. Hello. It's not rocket science. It's war. It's a war that was taken and placed upon the country of Israel. It's not one they went looking for. Those kids that raped did not go, hey, let's have a couple thousand of us die today. Those who survived can go with them. And the things that I've heard, I can't get started on those. I see my guys have changed to a different one. They're a bit louder, like me. If you raise your voice and you're on these things, you have the mic and everything. I love my golden mic, but at the same time, I'm constantly doing this. Okay, that's a little. So yeah, and I have listened. I didn't lately, but I did listen this morning to a couple of days ago when I had a broadcast, and I had time to edit it. And I was like, damn, I still look like such an amateur, but I am, and I make no apologies for that shit. Deal with it. I challenge any of you to come up here and go one-on-one with me. Any of you. Break a straw. Like I said, I can't do live chat this morning. Well, it's probably running into noon. Yeah, it's time for me just about to get off my soapbox. Again, guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. And the fact is, for me anyway, I was gratified to hear. I'm still fidgeting. It's rainy here, so my hair is not having a good day. I might be old, but I still try to look decent, not scare little kids most of the time. So, yeah, I'm the cat lady because I have cats everywhere. We keep rescuing them. They keep throwing them out, and we keep rescuing them. God must have a plan, is all I can say. We don't know how we're going to find their food for that week, and suddenly it's there. God provides. And no, I'm not one of those, as you guys call it, Bible thumpers. And I don't believe in organized religion for a reason. One of those being that we've only been around for 6,000 years. We just shot up in Sumer and Mesopotamia, and bam, we could make weapons. Yeah, I'm doing that. So, yeah, I'm a history buff for, oh God, I don't know, a long time. I've been reading college level by the time I was 9, probably by the time I was 5, as far as I can remember. But yeah, it seemed to surprise people, and you can't talk to people when you do that. You lose them. You don't mean to. You're just like today, talking about current events. And I was saying what it took them 3 days to say. I was saying that within 10, 15 minutes of the event happening and being shot. And this was live. So here an old grandma is standing up going, ho, 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 put the bitches in jail. Yeah, I slip on that once in a while. My husband says I swear too much, so tell him to get the hell away from me. Which is why we keep a stock bar. I guess it's like a little after 12. Normally I try to be on between 10 and 12. I've had people say that they don't like the fact that it's Lady Hippy at the bar because Hippy denotes that they're drug addicts. So it's like, we're all pair, for God's sake. I don't give a shit what you say about me, because if it's not the truth, I will come after you. They have laws for that. And I don't think anybody could know me by seeing what I put on the air any more than I could know Joe Rogan. Shout out, I like him, as you can tell. Casper Site, all of them. I have a lot of guys that I have go-tos that I subscribe to, especially the paranormal realm. I like Dark Ghost. I like Twin Paranormal, Casper Site. Those are all paranormal sites. So I have a little bit of, I'm a strange grandma. That's what my grandson says. He's 25. Went in the army because I didn't go through ROTC like I did. He told everybody that he was going into the army because he was walking behind his grandma's footsteps. And by that point, I was like, no, don't, because we were at war. We'd been at war in 2 countries for 20 years. Ask the average Joe on the street, especially a girl. Get them 20-year-olds that go to the beach. Not a damn one of you can tell you if we were at war, when we were at war, or why we were at war. Now, I can't tell you why. I can tell you it was there. Did we give them a warning before we did it? No, but we did give them an Air Force base in my ground. Complete. Uniforms, Black Hawks, money. Lots and lots of money. Yeah, lots of money. Payroll money. Like a couple million at the very least.
What are we looking at here? What types of action can we expect?
No problem with that, did they? Just like they had no problem with Benghazi. Our ambassador and his Secret Service, his protection detail were killed. And they held off for hours begging for help. Not only were they killed, they were paraded around naked after they were murdered. And one team, that was a civilian team, a Black Ops team, disobeyed the regular orders and went and got those guys' bodies. What does it matter now, Hillary? There's a reason to call her Hillary, but that's another show. Feel a little bit like George Burns and Gracie Allen. Yeah, that dates me. Look it up. It's a show. You'll love it. Watch them. I'm going to have to go here in a minute anyway. Got to go feed everybody and take care of the house and, all that stuff we don't want to do, but you have to do every bloody day. As far as Piers Anthony, don't like you. You got a problem with that? Come on. I dare you. Because I love Britain, and my DNA has me. I'm British through and through. Oh, United Kingdom through and through. So it's not like I don't like it. I will always, until my dying day and afterwards, have great respect for Queen Elizabeth II. I don't care for Charles that much, but there's reasons. Lots of reasons. Love William. Love Kate. She'd make a beautiful queen. Although I think they've denied her that. I'm praying that she's gone through her cancer treatments and so forth, that has come out on top. She's a strong woman. She's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Like Melania Trump. Beautiful, classy. All those things make a difference, I can't say what I thought about some first ladies because, again, that would be not kind. They were awful. They had no style. They had no class. They looked stupid. They had no dress sense whatsoever. It was embarrassing. I kept thinking, can't you leave the first lady? And I had trouble calling first ladies because they were terrible. And for most of us, we had not had a beautiful, classy young lady as first lady since President Kennedy was assassinated. That's a long time. Long time. Just like we hadn't had an attempted assassination since President Reagan. Most people don't even realize that. I think you could find 1 in 15,000 people that knew, 1, that there was a President Reagan, and 2, that he didn't have been killed. He was the same as Trump. Had he been 1 millisecond or a little bit off, 1 centimeter in most cases. Same with Pope John Paul II. He was shot 4 times. 4 times he was shot. Every bullet missed a major organ, and it should not have. It's as if somebody routed them through his body. 4 times. And the man made it. And after that, he thanked Mother Mary. And he went and had shrines done and so forth. He's now a saint. He's Saint Pope John Paul II. And it was because he was the Pope through my entire lifetime. Listening with my kid and so forth, going there to have him baptized. I don't know if it was all of that because I don't believe in organized religion yet. I was kind of raised Catholic. That's another story. Got thrown out of church a lot. They don't like it when you question things. God said, "Thou shalt not kill." So why did he send that tribe over there to kill that entire city and raze it to the ground? What did that 2-month-old baby do? Get out. That's just a quick example. So, yeah. I kind of dump around here and there, especially after I have my stifter. So come up here, talk to me, yell at me. I don't really give a shit which one you do. Pick one. I'm easy. I just want to have an intelligent conversation with somebody. And I mean an intelligent conversation. None of the screaming bullshit that you people seem to do. Now. And right now my live chat's down. I can't get in. So you'll have to throw in the comments if you want to say anything to me. I do not, I usually try to explain, I do not send out videos. I don't do that. I could, I just haven't. It's like plagiarism to me. If you want to see that clip, there's no reason that you can't. It's easily done, just as easily as speaking to me. So I don't see the point of me taking it from their channel and posting it up and giving credit to this channel and telling you to. If you want to see it, go to their channel. It's just, if you can't find it, I will put the link in there. I will happily do that. Until I get more feedback on that particular thing, I'm sticking with I'm not going to do that. I might be talking about this, that. Try not to actually invoke who I'm watching and getting the information from. Again, I'm not trying to steal their thunder, obviously. Not working for me if I were. Say it. But it's just smacks of not doing your own work. So if you want to talk to me, if you've seen this and you disagree, you agree, please God. Like I said, not a Bible thumper per se, but I will tell you when something's biblical. When Mecca was awash in a flood and people were being blown across and stuff was falling and the cube fell apart, that was biblical, folks. When they had the rivers and rain, blood rained. Literally, it was blood rain. They tested the rain. It was blood. That's biblical. When they have locusts and you're driving home with your kids and suddenly you're driving in millions of locusts, biblical. I don't need some preacher to stand up there and tell me, well, you need to send your money here. I need a second plane. I don't get that. It's like politicians. Give me money so I can run. Fuck you. Get your own money. I don't have no money. You give me money. Trump understood that. But yet when he was nearly assassinated, those things went through the roof. I don't think he'll need to have any more campaign money donated. He'll probably get it anyway. That's something else I wouldn't do if you. No, I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe give people money for that shit. Same thing with, oh, you need to help out with these guys. They're not eating. We're going to send food. Who the hell said so? Who's sending the food? Who's directing this? Who's the coordinator? Who's getting the food? How you getting there? I'm one of those show me everything shits. So, yeah, it's different. It's pretty good. It's Captain Ron. I can't remember. It's pretty good. Yeah. This is what puts the sparkle in Grandma's eyes. Those of you young men out there, do not judge because all of us look like this shit at 65, which is in a few weeks for me. So birthday wishes are welcome, of course. And I'm rocking 65. Screw that. I'm not one of those bitches that will sit there with their head under a rock. No, you can't shut me the hell up. Drove my husband crazy for 35 years. Now he'll tell you. He avoids that as much as possible. He won't even come on the broadcast, bless his heart. I have to tell him when I'm on and off because he don't want to be seen. Every once in a while you see him in the background because my car needs something. He'll run out there and do that. But generally he's off while I'm doing this. Smart man. Yeah, I love a good man. So anybody out there, you want to say something, you want to talk about shit, please be my guest. Bring it. I would love to have an intelligent conversation again. No, we are not going to be doing the tit for tat live today because, again, my live chat's down. But that doesn't keep me from saying, hey, that's a good point. Whatever. Put it in the comments. What did you see? What conclusions did you draw from what we've all seen? It's amazing this age. I love the 21st century because billions of us, not a million, not a half a million, billions of us saw this shit as it went down. Not just here, but in Europe and so forth. And those that didn't actually see it in that 10 minutes have seen it for shit by now. It's everywhere. You can't miss it. And I understand that, what's that, MSNBC's guy, Joe, whatever. I hated that little lying son of a, yeah. Patent liar. Most of these people who say they're press are up there in their face lying their ass off. Like we're all too stupid to catch on to that shit. Please. At least that's another one down the drain. I don't think in just any of these political channels should be able to call themselves news channels. If there's an earthquake in San Francisco, you're not going to find it on ABC, man. You're going to find it set up to YouTube or Snapchat with somebody who's in it. You're not going to find anybody reporting on it. They don't. They have a little dossier that they get to read to the camera by slandering the president or former president or who the hell ever. I'm sick of the shit. I've been sick of the shit. I quit watching the shit. Turned off cable, turned off satellite. I just have Wi-Fi now. And I still can't get away from this shit. You just can't. And nowadays you have to use it because that's how your bills are paid and so forth. So I love looking for stuff at Walmart now online because they go, your last visit was, I'm like, I'm looking at the Walmart on Wrightsboro Road. You're talking about the Walmart in Bel Air, and I just shot that 2 days ago. It's fucking freaky. I'm just saying, pardon. I say pardon this time. Stop that. My golden mic. My husband got that for me. He knew I wanted the golden mic. I don't know where the hell I saw it, but that was pretty cool, especially for the bar. I'm just like that. So come and see me. Have some fun. Come see the bar. Come talk to me. If you don't agree with me, even better. If you agree with me, so far out. Okay. Totally Lady Hippie at the bar. Gotta go, gang. I could stay up here for another hour, but I don't want to get everybody too bored. Just hit the damn like for me so I can get going with my channel. They like this shit. It's called an algorithm, and I ain't figured out how the hell that works yet. Come see me. Stay safe, everybody. To a bit.
So they're promising, Netanyahu's promising